Minister.
And Minister, you're very welcome in today, and congratulations on your elevation to this office. So Cathaoirleach, I welcome this pertinent and timely opportunity to make statements on the cost of doing business. 2024 is a year in which the costs across the nation are increasing. Businesses in particular suffer not just at the hands of increased business costs, but also due to the cost imposed from and initiatives created by this government. The government's increased cost of business grants offers 257 million for small and medium businesses. They are 143,000 rateable businesses in Ireland, and when divided out, this is effectively just under 1,800 available per business if this grant was structured to be shared equally. That is less than €5 per day. So well done. Eligible businesses will receive a once-off credit payment as a contribution towards the rising costs faced by business. These are a few examples of the increased cost imposed on businesses in 2024. On May the 1st, carbon tax will increase. The General Employment Scheme, the Critical Skills Occupation List, will increase from 30,000 to 34,000. Parents' leave and parents' benefit will be extended by 2 weeks to 9 weeks from August 2024. For sick pay, the entitlement will increase from 3 days to 5 days per year since January this year. In October of this year, PRSI is set to increase by 0.1%. Auto-enrolment is a new pension scheme for certain employees who are not paying into a pension. They will be automatically included in the scheme, but can opt out after 6 months. Auto-enrolment is expected to be introduced in January 2025. The Irish Government raised the minimum wage from €11.30 to €12.70 per hour from the 1st of January this year. The extra bank holiday. And all of these, in addition to the insurance, gas, oil, electricity, upkeep of depreciative assets and more. Under this scheme, qualifying businesses with a 2023 commercial rate bill of less than 10,000, this grant will be paid at a rate of 50% of the business commercial rate bill for 2023. For qualifying business with a 2023 commercial rate bill of between 10,000 and 30,000, the ICOB grant will be €5,000. The Irish Times reported in December 2023 that IBEC estimates that the annual increase in labour costs arising from these measures will exceed €4 billion. This demonstrates a massive chasm between the government's understanding of business needs and the real help that they need. Businesses need a government that relieves costs, obligations and rates. We could be forgiven for thinking that this is some sort of scam in the name of generating electoral winning policies around parental leave, more sick days, auto-enrolment in pensions and so on. A likely knock-on effect of these electorally appealing policies will simply be that there will be less jobs. The Restaurant Association and Hospitality Trade have called on a reduction of VAT from 13.5% to 9%. These are an integral part of our communities. 2 restaurants are closing per day. Closures due to the cost of living. Increased costs include food, energy, interest rates, wages and labour availability. The CSO data state that 15,609 engaged in food and beverage services in this country. At the end of 2023, 138,800 were employed in the sector, with additional 79,680 indirect employees because of the operations of a restaurant. And according to Jim Power Economics, the closure of restaurants would cost the state up to 1.36 million in total economic impact in 1 full year. In recent weeks, I have received correspondence from many members of the Irish Association of Counselling and Psychotherapy. This group has 6,000 members and are calling for increased accessibility to therapeutic services by extending the VAT exemption to counsellors and psychotherapists in Ireland. The IACP's comprehensive VAT proposals were submitted to the Minister for Finance in March and calls for creating equity of treatment and parity of esteem for mental health professionals providing psychotherapy and counselling services with those who deliver physical health care. I urge the Minister to take their concerns seriously. Minister, mental health services are a crucial sector that is under-resourced and essential public importance. So I call on the government to listen to the people running businesses. They know how to solve their operational issues, and sweeping policies that affect enterprise all over the country, regardless of the size of the industry, can have a catastrophic effect. Aside from competition, automation and inflation, businesses will likely fail this year due to the added burden of the costs outlined above. Ultimately, a grant of €5,000 will do little to help small to medium-sized businesses which face ever-increasing costs at the hands of our government. These policies will only serve to stifle entrepreneurship in this country. Day one operating costs, taxes and obligations are deterring people from their businesses and access to the market. Taxation by some is considered theft, but can you really rob a business that cannot maintain liquidity or even establish itself with so many overheads imposed by the government? Minister, many social enterprise, the social enterprise sector is one of the most untapped sources of economic and social value to the state. It's rarely looked at by ministers or by departments as an economic value. So I would like you to consider allocating monies for the development of these enterprises to the local authorities, through the LEOs, to engage in supporting credible and sustainable social enterprises that would tackle social and environmental issues while also creating employment. So that's one sector that I think that you could look into and in supporting the local enterprise offices. It's an untapped sector within our economy, and I urge you to look at that during your ministry. Thank you, Minister.